We'll get to your phone calls, 877-3DP Show. Email address is dp@danpatrick.com. He's head coach at Ohio State. Urban Meyer joining us on behalf of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl Challenge two-day golf event, culminating today. 13-team scramble pairing NCAA head coaches with celebrity alum, competing for a share of over $500,000 in scholarships for their respective schools. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl Twitter page. You can go there at CFA Peach Bowl. Coach joins us now. What kind of golfer are you, Coach?
Oh, very average. A guy that loves it, but I kind of accepted the fact about 5 years ago I'm not going to become a great one, so just enjoy it and have fun with it.
What's more frustrating, coaching or golfing?
Oh, no, I don't get frustrated by golf anymore. I just enjoy it, so obviously coaching gets a little frustrating because that's your career. Golfing is just fun.
What was more frustrating when you cared about golf?
Oh, I used to, I was known to throw in clubs and act like a nut on the course, and I don't do that anymore. I just line up and go again.
Can you learn? I always felt that you could learn an awful lot about somebody playing golf with them, their personality.
Sure.
What do you think?
Sure. I think that's a true statement. I think there's certain people you like to play with and other ones you try to avoid. And during the course of a round you can find, that's a great thought, and that's true.
You got Steve Spurrier there, Nick Saban's there. You got a pretty good guest list there with coaches. What are they like on the? Have you played with them?
Oh yeah, Coach Saban and I, we just finished nine holes together, and they beat us on the last hole. I think we're 4 under, they're 5 under, so we're in the top 2 or 3 in the tournament right now. So as long as they're keeping score, those two names you just mentioned, Coach Spurrier and Saban, they want to win.
Can you talk trash? Do you have some fun, needle each other?
No.
No?
No. Not this first 9 holes we did. Everybody's pretty locked in.
Any football? Any football conversation?
No, it was more about family and about getting away for the summer. We didn't have much football talk today. We played with Mark Ingram, who I got a lot of respect for as a player, but I just love him as a guy too. He handles his business, and so I talked a lot with Mark today as well.
What do you know about your team right now?
I know a lot. I know we have a lot of veterans coming back. I'm putting a lot of trust in them. We didn't beat them up during spring practice, which is the year before we did, or we just went through a lot of physical practices. This year was our first 2 weeks of training camp are going to be important because we had a lot of injuries, and I also pulled back on some guys that I called them the 2,000 rep guys, and they're people that played for 2 years for us and have over 2,000 reps of contact. So we just. First of all, it's the right thing to do, and then second of all, it's our job to get them healthy and make sure they're ready for the games.
What do you mean 2,000 rep guy?
Competitive reps, and just it's not just because of concussions, but it's just the great thing about football right now. Everyone is so conscious about the student athlete, the welfare, and how many live reps you're getting. And in practice, a lot of times you'll get more reps than in a game. Some guys play 10 to 15 reps during the course of a game, and in practice, hard physical practice, you're getting 60 to 80 competitive reps. They have to be very, more than ever. I know we watch every competitive rep is charted now at Ohio State. And this first year we've done it like this.
Cardale Jones is your quarterback?
He's one of them.
I know he's one of them. Is he who's your starting quarterback right now today?
Oh, we can't name one today. Cardale went through spring practice. Braxton, we're getting him healthy, and JT, we're getting him healthy, and JT did a lot of work as well. So we have 3. I know you know that we have 3 viable guys. Are
they all staying? I heard where Braxton Miller, there's a possibility of him transferring.
Yeah, that surfaced in January, and I asked him, and he said absolutely not. Obviously, young people or anyone's allowed to change their mind. I have not heard it. I did not ask him. One of our strength coaches did, so I don't know where that's coming from. And so I would say Braxton is staying, as all indications that I'm getting. And all I can go by is what I don't go by hearsay. I just talk to the people involved, and he seems to be extremely happy, excited for 2015 as a Buckeye.
What kind? Do you try to keep them all happy? Can you use them at different points in a game?
I don't know. That's going to be determined. JT's got 3 years left. Cardale's got 2 years left, and Braxton's got 1. They've all done something to take Ohio State to the level we're at. Braxton was kind of the focal point of our offense because we just didn't have the skill set around him. The 12-0 year and the 12-2 year, and he was phenomenal, Big Ten Player of the Year. And then JT had the luxury of playing with some great players, and then so did Cardell. So we have a good group around him coming back, which is key, and especially 4 out of 5 offensive linemen coming back too.
He's Urban Meyer, Ohio State head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Explain to people what it's like for that spring game when you walk out there and there's 100,000 people for a spring game.
Well, I want to watch Paris Campbell's and Noah Brown's. Those are kids, and Garyon Conley that have never played in that environment. And I was anticipating a good, 80,000 because we've had that before. But when you see 100,000 people in that stadium, and I thought it was filled, and I think see the 106. It looked like every seat was taken.
Wow.
So I just want to make sure that we're doing something so they enjoy it. But then, our job is not to keep the fans happy. Then we got to keep them happy in September. So it's a phenomenal experience, though.
Reaction to Aaron Hernandez verdict?
Oh, it's just horrible. Just horrible all the way around, and the families involved when they show the camera. Because I watched highlights of it, and it's just horrible.
But do you think you know somebody, but you don't know them? I'm assuming you're. Yeah. I mean, any player, but how surprised when you just hear that he's involved in something, and then you realize.
I mean, just like you could imagine, my mouth dropped, and like you have to be, First of all, I didn't believe it. Then you started reading about it, and I never spoke with him, obviously. But and that's when you start having beat writers and everybody start writing things out about multiple failed drug tests. He failed one drug test. He was treated the same as every athlete at the University of Florida, and no idea that he's a different guy. You're just worried about. I kept hearing about people back home, and I look hindsight, that he went and played pro football somewhere near home, I guess, is what I'm research or conversations I've had. That's kind of what happened.
But Coach Belichick contacted you before the draft, right? That he was thinking of taking
sure.
Aaron, and so you had to sign off on him to Coach Belichick.
Yeah, he was a guy that was a lot of people were asking about first-round talent, second-round talent, and he went later in the draft. I can't remember what round, and he's a guy that had a very incentive-based contract early in his career in pro football, and I'm not sure what happened after that. But he was a guy that, obviously Coach Belichick's a friend of mine, very honest, and said just need to keep an eye on him. And unfortunately, you can't lock him up, and keep them away from their homeboys. I guess that's what happened.
Tim Tebow back in the league, Coach.
Yeah, I just talked to him the other day, and I'm real excited for him, and he deserves it, and hope he makes it. He's at a great place.
But we've talked about this before. The transition from college to the pros, spread offense or reading defenses. What was the disconnect, do you think, with Tim the first time around, or the last couple of years?
Well, it really wasn't. He did a great job. Maybe statistically, I know I can't remember what it was throwing, but he won. He's a winner. He took a team that was a mess and put him in the playoffs and almost made the Super Bowl. And then the whole New York Jets thing was not good for all involved. And then he got a chance with the Patriots, and that didn't work out. So he's, the problem with Tim, he just and this is the only problem, he creates so much conversation and distraction, and I think that spooks some teams, and I think we're that far beyond it now that's not that big a distraction anymore, and he's just a quarterback trying to make a team now.
But do you think the media did it, like it was almost a negative for Tim, that he was viewed positively in a lot of ways, but that became a distraction because it was Tim Tebow? There was more to it than just a quarterback. There was religion, faith, being on missions. I mean, there was so much involved with him that if he didn't have this coverage, could he have been more successful or been given a better chance or a sooner chance?
I think sooner chances and more chances. I think, I know I've talked to many of the coaches involved, and one thing every coach wants is lack of distraction so they can focus on their team. And when all of a sudden ESPN has live people watching practice, and every time there's, you wake up, there's Tim Tebow this, and you're talking about a backup quarterback, and that did wear on people. And once again, I think that is over for the most part because you just don't hear as much. And now hopefully Tim can just learn to be an NFL quarterback.
Well, good luck with your back nine there. Good to visit with you, Coach. Thanks. We'll talk to you as we get close to the season.